And start recording. Let's make sure it works. Come on in. A moment of clarity today. Yeah, it's nearly 3 o'clock. I thought I'd get in early and make sure that the sound is right. Paul, you'll not be here yet because I'm early to the party. After last time, when I had my little turn, I thought I'd come in early because I know I'll be the only one here. There you go. And I just want to make sure that everything's working. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, there we are. Oh, look. Yes, well, according to this, there are 21 of us already. Early bird catches the worm and all that. Have you got your, did you get your masks in time? Are you going to craft along with me? Are you? Look at that, 53 people. Warms the old cockles, doesn't it? So here we are, moment of clarity. Look, you can see here, it looks very different to the Shack because it is. This is where we all get together and we craft along and we pretend we're at an exhibition or at a workshop or at an open day or one of those things. And hundreds of you, literally hundreds of you, have bought these reflection masks and these masks. And so today we're going to put them through their paces. So come on in. It's great to have your company. And we'll just wait a couple of minutes. I just want to make sure that the sound is good. Have I got a hair attached to my, God, certainly not eyelashes, that's for sure. Right. Come on then. Paul will be here in a minute. Good afternoon, Jules. Good to have your company. Yeah, there are 91 people according to my little... Oh, here they all are, look. Oh, brilliant, brilliant. You know, I think when the lockdown lifts and, you know, I'm not saying that the Shack will become redundant. I doubt that. But I do know that it will shrink, our little community. And that's a good thing because it means people are free again. People are able to get out. Don't you know what I mean? But the other thing is that we'll continue to do it, and those good folk that are allowed to travel and allowed to get out, they can watch on catch up, can't they? So all is not lost. It'll be fine. I think it's a great thing. I think it's the way it's got to go. It's got to be this way, hasn't it? But the moment of clarity is a little bit different. It's a little bit selly. It's a little bit, I'm going to show you our wares. This is where clarity comes to the party, just like we would at the NEC. Do you know, I think that this weekend could quite possibly have been the NEC weekend. I have a feeling that I would be standing behind the jump at the NEC. It'd be day 2, Friday. Yeah, that would be where we are. So this is a lot easier. This is a lot easier and a lot safer and a lot cheaper. Paul, are you there? Yeah, Paul's in the building. We're quite early, aren't we? 3 minutes to go and then we'll get started. Have you got all your bits and pieces? Have you got your ink pads? Have you got your brushes? I can't start just in case somebody's... I've got water. Have you got something to drink? Have you? See, it's a lot better than being at the NEC. First of all, free parking. Secondly, you can have all the refreshments you want. Free entry. Do you know what I mean? Seats. always used to make me sad at the NEC when I used to think, you know, and I see people sitting on the floor and I think, God, blimey, paid all that money, came all that way, and then you have to sit on the floor to eat your sandwiches. I'm talking old, you know, elderly people. Yeah, not good really. But there you go. Nothing to do with me. We always had a chair. I always had a chair here. I don't know if you ever noticed, but I always had a chair because you got one free with a stand. Well, you didn't get it free, crikey, you paid for it. But it was always there. And I always kept it there, even though I stood. I always stand, because that way we're at the same level. But if anybody was feeling a little bit weary, then they could sit down. And we were like a cloakroom. Give us your bags. It'd be coats and bags and all sorts behind the stand. Because, you know, you'd come in and you'd have your coats and your cardigans and you'd be I mean, crazy warm, and then they'd crank the heating up and it'd be like a furnace, you know, and then you'd wonder why people were passing out, you know, and I'd always be running to the organisers. I was saying, turn the heating, get the air conditioning on, they're going to start dropping like flies in a minute, and sure enough, you know, yeah, this is okay. This is okay. I love the organisers, they're great people. Fabulous people, but I'm happy to be having a moment of clarity here above my garage with my friends. Here we go, and this is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be looking at these masks. We've got these wonderful new reflection masks that Lisa at work and Leanne have been pumping out and getting out to you. Has everybody got theirs, or are a couple of you still waiting on yours? Apologies. We did our level best, we really did. Dave's even bought a new machine. So it wiped out any profit and then some. It doesn't matter, it's all right. It's called a sound investment. So these masks that we're gonna put them through our paces, and we'll have a look at them, and then in the meantime I'll tell you what we need, and then we'll get going. And if it takes a little bit longer than an hour, that's okay. And also, if you haven't got your masks and you want to have a go, or you're impressed with what we do and you want to buy them, we'll get them out to you. And next Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock, we'll go in the evening, not in the morning, no, don't get too keen. In the evening, we'll have another session. We'll ramp it up again. How does that sound? So now it's 3 o'clock. Welcome to the Moment of Clarity. My name's Barbara Gray, and we're going to have an hour of arty, crafty fun. How's that sound? So the first thing we want to do is have a look at what we're actually going to be putting through their paces today. These are masks. Now, you know that we do masks for our stamps, don't we? Yep, and we also do landscape masks. So let me show you a couple of our sets of landscape masks, and then we'll have a look at what we've had so far and what we're going to do now. Okay, and we'll just get to grips with these masks. So let's have a look. These masks, for example, I'll show you how they work. They're reusable. These are the Woodland collection, and you can see here you've got this. You've got the children. These are beautiful, right? So we've got the Meadow Dance children. Got plenty of moons. This is my favourite. 6 moons on this one. Woodland, and then you've also got the deer. And notice that the deer are split, and so are the children. Right, so you've got 2 masks, 2 masks, 2 masks, 2 masks. Right, that's the first thing you want to see. Right, so these are the masks, these are they, and I'll tell you what, it tells you how to use them. But what is really, really cool is that when you put them in a folder, look, we've got mask folders. When you put them in a folder, they're protected, easy to find, easy to relocate. You put them back where you found them, right? And here's the other one. Right, so first of all, let's look at some artwork to do with this set. This is cool. Right, so we've got some artwork that I want to show off. Let's do that first, and then you'll see. So that, for example, is using the masks over the top of the backdrop stamp, and a huge moon mask as well. Now this is using... These are the backdrop stamps. You remember we've had these before? Let me put this chair out of the way, or I'm going to go arse over tit. Right. These are the backdrop stamps. This is the big backdrop stamp. Yeah, very good, very good. And so that's given us a beautiful background, and then you'll see how you just put black ink straight through. So there's another backdrop stamp saying, see, the thing about the backdrop stamps is they've got this lovely rebate, this kind of recess around the outside, so it gives you that beautiful feeling. And you know that all these moons, these are always going to be part of those masks that I'm showing you. Right, here's another one. This is cool. Now this is using Waimea Falls. So I'm going to show you the papers later, but this is using our designer papers. Okay, so this is the Waimea Falls one. I designed these myself. There it is, look. That's Waimea Falls, funny enough. But Dee did this, and what she's done is she's simply just put the deer as they come along the bottom, and then she's used the trees. See? Oh, hello. She's used the trees in the background. So very nice. And then she's used the waterfall itself as an opportunity to put a meaningful verse. So yeah, the designer papers are great. Waimea Falls and Amazonia, if you're looking for particular ones that are particularly good with masks, to be honest, they're all brilliant. But the landscapey ones, if you like, are Waimea Falls, Amazonia, and there's another one, Toscana. This is another one. So there's already a moon in there for you. So they're double-sided, very lovely. I think these are fabulous anyway. But you can see, you just have to squint a little bit and you'll see a fantastic, you know, there are so many different landscape opportunities here. And that's the thing, you look at these and then you say, right, see, so that one there, let me just explain. So you look at that and you think, yeah, that's nice. That's very nice. Now let me show you there. So that now is that, look, you see? Throwing everything at this one. And this is the one that I want to sort of work with you next week, because it's quite complex, it's quite in depth, and there are so many little tricks and tips on this one, and therefore I'd really like to I thought I'd ramp it up next Wednesday, and that's where we're headed. So today we're going to keep it simple. I think that's a nice thing to do on a Friday afternoon. And then next Wednesday evening, we'll just ramp it up, crank it up a little bit. But you see how you can use these masks beautifully on the designer paper. So all of a sudden, this has a whole, this opens up a whole other world. Now, so let's go back to the artwork. So we've got that one, that's nice. We're still using that other set. Oh no, hang on a minute. And here are the children. Look, this is lovely with the girls dancing and the deer. Again, designer paper. Here we go, there's that same designer paper again. Look, and so all I did was chop a piece off the bottom, lift it up into the dark area, put a meaningful word on the front. Oh, always look on the bright side of life. We were singing that this morning. See? We do. We need to look on the bright side of life. But you can see, here's one that Dee did for me. Beautiful. Look at that. Just an element of the mask. You don't always have to use the whole thing. You know, these are long A5 masks. Just, I wouldn't say chop it up, but just put ink through the apertures that you want. Yeah? You'll see what I mean in a moment. Right, so that now, going back to where we were, that's this particular set. Look, I mean, the mileage that you get out of a few masks is astounding. Now let's look at this one. Let's go to the next one. Only so that you can see what's in the packs, because I'm saying that there are 3. We've got more than this. We're just focusing on 3 at the moment, the kind of the landscapey ones. We've got skyscrapes as well. I mean, this all started in a workshop in Cowden when I decided that we were going to make our own mask, and we cut out the Paris skyline. I thought I'd lost everybody. They were losing the will to live, trying to cut out the Eiffel Tower. It was comical. And I remember we got halfway along, we got as far as the Champs-Elysees, and I said, I tell you what, I bet there's got to be an easier way than this. And that's where all this started, actually. Yeah, it did. Right, so here you can see we've got a castle. We've got rooftops, we've got clouds, we've got hills, but different sorts of hills. We've got moons, different sizes, and then we've got loads of little moons for smaller scenes. Really, really cool. Okay, so when we look at that one, let me show you, for example, a couple of bits of artwork, and then we'll crack on. So here, for example, you can see here. Let's take that away. There's one that combines. Look, see, just different layers, because that's the thing. You can do multiple layers of the same mask. They lift, they're reusable. Here's one that combines the rooftops and the castle in the background. And I'll show you how to get that lovely graduation. It's very, very easy. There it is, you see. This was a working, this is just a tester. But what I like is that you can get, look, see the depth that you can get on the castle. And you can get, this is still the mask, you see. But what I've done is, by using another bit of paper, just by holding it like that, see, like that, you just sweep through there, and that's how you get this different layers and depth. But we'll do that today. We'll have a go. Right, so that's that one. Mask number 2. Everything all right? Are you? I'm feeling very perky today. As opposed to last time, not so perky. Okay, so that's that one, and then comes the new one. So this is building up now. I'm getting your creative juices going here. Now we go to the reflection. So this is to my mind the best so far. Okay, and what we've got going on here is a riverside landscape, and there are reflections. So for every single mask, like say we've got these trees here, for every mask there's a reverse. So you've got, if you like, you've got upstairs and then you've got downstairs. You see, it's the opposite. It says reflection on it, so it's very clever. Lisa, this is her brainchild. She's a brainchild. Absolutely amazing. You see, so you've got trees. There lots of cut lines. This is a real collaboration. It went back and forth. So you've always got upstairs, downstairs. See, double upstairs, and you've got 2 mountains here. And then you've got the reverse. So I'm going to show you how to layer. You've got the riverside banks with the poplar trees. I think they're the ones we're going to use today, I've decided. Right, there you go. Reflection. And then we've got the pine trees. So they're great for backgrounds. Then you've got the reflection of the pine trees. I mean, the thing is, it's up to you whether you use the reflection upstairs and then the other one downstairs. It's entirely up to you. Now, this is the genius part. Look. So what we've got here is what Lisa calls extras. And we've got extras. So these are in little boxes, just like our stamps. You know, when we do our positive and our negative. So clever to use. Right. And you can pop them anywhere you like. Right. So let me just pop that in there like that. Okay. Reusable. See that little duck? I figured out, it took me a little while because Dee did that. Dee did this amazing. I did this one, I copied it so that I knew that I could do it. But Dee did she did the ducks, and I thought, how's she done that? How's she done that? Because the duck's got legs. And then I just had to do it to figure it out. Check out the ducks. But hang on. I know. Mad. Especially when you look at the actual duck mask and it's got legs, look. But I figured it out. It's really cool. And that's what we're going to do next Wednesday, because I think this might be a little bit too much after this week. Hey? Right. But I've already done it. So I'm excited to show you. It's very cool indeed. Yeah, so the point I'm making is that you've got the masks and the reflection, right? Store them in here. I think they actually come, Paul, they come with, because Paul's in the building with you and he'll be able to help you. They come with a folder, don't they? Mr. Church? Yeah? Let me show you a couple of pieces of artwork. Really lovely. Dee's been busy. Check this out. Right, so here, yeah, so now we're looking at, I think this is Waimea Falls, right? And then she's just used the extras. See the deer, perfect, right? Black ink, and then you can see one of the landscapes in the background, the trees. Isn't that beautiful? This is our stamp board. Look, it's lovely. It's really lovely. That's to hang on a wall. That's a hanger. Right, and then we've got, there's that one. I know, mad, isn't it? But listen, if I can do it, you can do it. So she threw everything at this. Look, we've got it all going on. I've simplified it a little bit. I missed out I missed out the bridge. I decided to just do a sweep on the castle. Nice though, eh? Really nice. That's what we're going to do on Wednesday, friends. And then we've got this one. This is beautiful. Look at that. So we're going to use these lovely poplar trees, but we're going to keep it simple with a bit of landscape. You can see what Dee's done. She's got the clouds, she's got the moons, she's got the hills, the castle, the rooftops. She just went for it. But the marvellous thing is you can see how many layers you can get. And you know what? She's actually used a backdrop stamp in the background, look, and she's outlined that rebate that we were talking about. Isn't that clever? Yeah, so if you haven't got those backdrop stamps, it might be worth having a look at, because they really do create the most exquisite frame. Look at that. Let me just hold it for you. Just enjoy that for a minute. See? So you've got upstairs and downstairs. Look, she's got every single mask in the cupboard out, and all the birds as well. Because that's the thing. You don't have to do the reflection. You don't have to. And the other thing about the reflection, I know I keep saying upstairs, downstairs, but of course it goes left and right as well. Yeah, so that's worth thinking about. Right, so let's have a look. What are we on? So we've done that. We've shown you that. This is a beautiful one. Look, colourful. So this is where we start mixing and matching. We get the children, and then we've got the deer and the trees, and again we've got the backdrop stamp. Yeah, and then this is a nice one. See, and this shows me that you don't have to use the whole thing. See, just a hint, a hint. Isn't that lovely? So, now I've shown you all the artwork. What I'd like to do now is get started. We need a piece of stencil card, right? Here we have the stencil card. If you haven't got any, it is available at claritystamp.com. And it comes in 8.5 by 11 and 7 by 7. You pick. Right, we're going to go with the large because because we're going to do a reflection, a large reflection. Let's do that. So we're going to use a large piece of this. This is the gear. This is the stuff that we were using in the Shack this morning with the watercolour that we're really, very, very good quality. Okay, and it's the same stuff that we cut into 3.5 by 3.5. Dave said this morning, that was very popular. I said, yeah, it was a good idea. So we cut the 7 by 7 into 3.5 square, and at claritystamp.com. And I'm going to really irritate you this out. No, I won't, I promise. Right, you ready? So the first thing we want to do is start with a reflection. So where's my, let's clear the decks, and let's make sure, I don't want to spoil the artwork. I want to look at which one we're going to use. So get your brushes ready. You need brushes. You need a couple of makeup sponges. Right, makeup sponges. I washed mine. Top tip, right? I know we've got some coming. Well, we've got 1,000, 6,000 of them coming. Packs, that is, not individual sponges. But they're on the boat. You know that expression, slow boat from China? Oh, yes, right? But it's a global issue. It's not our issue. It's just a worldwide problem at the moment. Can't get into Felix though, that's the problem. So what I'm doing is I'm washing them. I didn't wash them in the washing machine with my best clothes. What I did was I washed them with fairy liquid in the sink, squeezed them out, put them in one of these nets, and then put them in the tumble dryer just to dry them up a little bit, and then I just hung it in the airing cupboard until they're bone dry. And even though they look dirty, they're not. There's no colour comes off. Well, not on my new bit anyway. No, see? No colour. Good as gold. See? Clean. Does the job. So until the boat lands, can you do us a favour? Just keep washing. Keep washing them. It's easy, right? Why wouldn't you? So we've got a couple of them ready. We've got our masks. We've got our card. And that's about it, really. So let's start. Are you ready to craft along with Barbie? Yeah? Well, I was thinking, I'll show you the one that I did like last week, just to get you, to tease you. This was the one that I did last week, and I was using this particular beauty, this one here, right? So I thought today, we've already done that one and I blogged it and we know what it looks like, so let's do a comparison. So I thought we'll take another couple of trees and then I'll put it through its paces and I'll show you what we're going to do. So I'm going to go with the poplar trees, Now I've already used this one, as you can see, and let's put it like this. When you've used them, they become easier to use. When they're new, when they're brand new, they're quite tacky. right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a new one so that I'm in the same boat as you. Even though I've already used this one, I'm gonna start with a new one, because that way we're all working off the same hymn sheet, and I'll tell you how to use a new one, you know. And so I'll pop that back in there carefully, see, because you can, honestly, they'll last you years if you look after them. But there are lots of very, very delicate. So what I'm going to do is, let's get rid of all this beautiful artwork. What I'm going to do is, as I start using the masks, I'll start putting them to the side, okay? I'll put them to the side here, and I'll lay them out so that at the end I can replace them all and put them all back in my folder for the next time, okay? That's my suggestion to you too. So we'll start with the riverbank. Right, here we go. And we're going to use this one first. Now, when you use this, you can see these are so detailed. Can you see all this? So what we're going to do is we're going to gently, because this is brand new, gently just let it peel back, right? Now we're coming down here, gently help it, right? Gently peel it away like this, right? And then this side, right, here we go. You've got some really nice little flowers, the details. I can see why these took so long to make. Right, so you've got that now, right? You've got this piece, okay? And we're going to use this as well, right? But now we want this bit here, this bit, okay? And we're gonna, let me show you a trick. So you've got choices. If you want, when you're starting with a stamp, you could, for example, just lay this down on your top, or your apron, or your jeans, and it will de-tack it a little bit, if you choose to. I'll see if I can get away with not doing that, and I'll show you a trick. So what you do is you lay it down. You don't put any pressure on it, and then you just see, it's too sticky. So what I'm going to do is exactly what I'm going to keep it simple, right? So I'm going to pop this. I've got my jeans or my cord trousers. Right, I'll just stand on one leg, do it on your sleeve or whatever. Just de-tack it a bit, right? And then, right, we'll just come in, and you'll see immediately as soon as you do that. Look, watch. As soon as you do that, it de-tacks it a bit. Now this is going to be upstairs, so we're going to go up like that. Leave plenty of room for downstairs. See? And then gently, that's it. So we're going to put our mask down. Everybody happy? I'm aware that lots of you are crafting along. Right, now the next thing we're going to do is go back into that same mask set, this one, because what I want now is this line underneath. You see, because I want to make a bank. If we have a look, for example, here, you can see the bank, see? And it's not a straight line, so I've got to cover this bit up, haven't I? Like that. This is the bit I want. Right, so this is what we're going to do, is take this part here, take this section here. So there's lots of bits, which is great. So we'll take that, and we're going to pop this down. Now, this is where we can decide how big is the bank, as in the meadow, the grass in front before you get to the water. So do you want it that big? Do you want it that big? Do you see what I mean? You can make it as big as you like. Look, you do that, but I'm going to keep it reasonable. Let's just do that. Right, so now that is the size of that's where the water's edge is there. Okay, so that's the next thing. Now, take a piece of copy paper and get a ruler. I'm going to make some cover-up masks, and just cut a piece of A4 in half with a ruler. Okay, and then what we're going to do is just lift this off again, because it's easier to do it this way. Just stick it on there like that, go back, and now I've protected all this area, you see? And then the other piece of copy paper, what we're going to do is lift this through like that, lift it up, this mask, and just slot this underneath. See? So now that protects the top part. Otherwise, in a minute, what will happen is we'll go like that, and there'll be a big blue stripe right across the sky. We don't want this. Right. Okay. And Paul's just told me that it's Elaine's birthday today. Happy birthday, Elaine. Another Piscean in the building. Many happy returns. It's lovely to have your company, birthday girl. Right. So here we go. And what we're going to do now is just brush the colour through. So put this to one side because we're going to need that in a minute. Here we go. We need colour. So what should we use? I'm going to go with Mellow Green, Ocean Reef. There you go. Now I'm using big artistry inks, but if you, for example, go for this one, see, there's Mellow Green. These are the little tasters, the artistry inks. There's Mellow Green there. It doesn't matter if it's a little colour. I just use the big one because I can, right? So Mellow Green's in there. And where's the Ocean Reef? Ocean Reef is a great colour. So you could use Elegant Green if you just buy one set, right? So you could use, oh, hello. You could use Elegant Green. It's entirely up to you. But I'm using the larger ink pads, but this is what they are. This is it, artistry, dye-based inks. Use any inks you got. I'm using a blue and a green. And then I'm going to use my brushes, right? So I've got a brush. Have you not got our brushes yet? Right, here we go, here's the pitch. These are wonderful brushes. They're fantastic with stencils. They work with paint. They've got a lovely point. They come in a box of 4. Just happen to have a set here. There's also a set up here behind me if you need them. There are 4 different sizes. They're synthetic, so you can trim them if you need to. You can see the 4 sizes here. Okay, this is stainless steel around the neck, so that doesn't rust. And this is bamboo, so if it gets wet, it doesn't rot either. Result. These are fantastic for what we're doing here because you get that lovely, subtle colour. Okay, I'm going to show you how to use these as well. Right, so you need that as well. First things first, let's go with the green to start with. Okay, let's load up some green. Right, and this is scrap here. See, this is I can test my colours here. Right, here we go. Load up. Top tip. These little flowers all along here are very, very delicate. So what you really don't want to do is brush in to the mask like that. You want to brush away from the flowers. Brush downwards, not upwards. Right? So what we're going to do is just make, here we go. I'm just taking the brush, loading up a bit of green. Start with green, let's do an undercoat. Right? And then we're going to build our colour. So let's just get, you can go that way if you like. This is very robust. See, the thing about this is you get a complete vacuum, you know? So in other words, it's completely locked. There is no gap here. You won't, if this was wet, it wouldn't seep, yeah? I mean, I remember years ago when we used to cut out masks before, this was in a life before these fantastic masks, right? And we used to cut the masks out and then out of Post-its, you know, so that you and then you'd cut them out and then you'd realise you'd cut it out at the wrong end and it wasn't sticky. But of course, a Post-it would curl. So you never had a seal like this. It would be very difficult to do something like this. Very difficult indeed, you know. But because these are reusable, complete seal, they've got a tack, but they don't rip the paper, you know. So you can see now, in my artwork, I tell you what I do want to do. This is a really good idea. In the top, just write top, right? And in the bottom, just write bottom. So on the piece of paper, on the card, write T for top or upstairs, and then write B for bottom down the bottom. So you know, because in a minute it's going to all look the same. See, when you look at this, you won't know, is this upstairs or downstairs? It will only be the colour that will tell you. Okay, so what we're trying to do now is this part here, this piece. Right, except with different trees. So nice light green colour. Now, if we're going to put a moon or a sun here, right, then the shadow is going to be on this side. So you take your brush, right, top tip, and you sweep that way. And what will happen is when you do it like this, see the shadow on this side, the shadow will stay on that side. So let's do that. Let's keep that brush. See, and as I do that, because I'm flicking up, look, see if I can show you from this angle. See, because I'm going up like that, up, sweep, 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 sweep. It's darker here and it's lighter on that side. If I went this way, I'd get darker on that side and lighter on that side. Right, so I load up a bit of ink again. And then also, see, I'm sweeping down, 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 so that if I go up, I'm going to catch all these tiny, I might spoil the mask. So I want it to last a little bit longer than that. Right, so brush is key. Is everything okay? Is everything okay? Are we happy? Are we doing this? Are you doing this with me? Right, look, dark, 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 dark. See, and then if you want to get a little bit of a, what's it called, like a airbrushed effect, sweeping away, like just sweep away like that. This is going to look cool. Right, that'll do. Now take a makeup sponge. Now I've got one that's got green on it, just so that I no, they all look a bit cruddy really. It's all right though. It'll do. It'll do. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Right, green. Okay. And what I'm going to do now is sweep the green, sweep it through, and it crispens up the edge. I'm also cleaning the mask a bit, see? So we've got a bit of green going. That'd be nice. Nice, nice, nice. Right, now let's change the colour because it's a little bit, well, it looks like a tree actually. But let's make it a little bit different. Let's change the colour up a bit. So what we'll do is we'll take the Ocean Reef. Now the Ocean Reef comes from the Golden Turmeric set. This is this one here. There's your Ocean Reef there. Nice colours. So you could use Ocean Reef and Elegant Green. Elegant Green's a bit darker, but it's nice. Dry Weed's lovely. Fabulous colours anyway. So let's use this one. Another brush. Let's get a different brush going. We need a blue brush now. There it is. See, it's already got quite a little bit on it. So what I'm going to do is ink up a little bit, not so much, because I don't want the look. See, it's quite juicy, isn't it? See, so get rid of loads before you start. My suggestion. And then what we'll do is we'll just sweep a little bit of blue over the top. It just changes the tone of the green. Let's have a look. See what we can do here. So let's just sweep a bit of that blue in through the top. Let's change the colour. See, I'm coming in from this side a little bit. Yeah? That'd be quite nice. Right. Let's get that meadow going a bit as well. So you can always add it. Add it, add it, add it, add it, add it. Build it up your colours. Right, that'll do. Okay, so we've done that. Now the next thing, before we move these masks, I've got one more suggestion. Get a black ink pad. Now, what have we got here? We can use the black shadow, or we can use black, can't we? We could use archival if you've got one of them. Let's use archival. Right, a little bit of ink. Keep it on the scrap here. And this time, what we're going to do is just sweep a little bit of depth, but we're going to use. Get rid of some first. So you can use the mask as a sort of a springboard, if you like that. And then sweep the colour in just into the edge. Let's see how this looks when it's done. Okay, let's give it a go. Right, and then we'll just sweep that through like that. And every time you do this, it'll be different. That's the key, you see, because you'll use different colours, you'll use a different amount. So you can, if you want it dark, 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 then pound. See? Always be sure though that you don't push into this delicate stuff, because it will kill it in a nano. And how does she know these things, do you think? Huh? Right, let's have a look what we've got now. So I've got the depth on that side. See, I want to get a little bit of shadow over on this side, because once I move this mask, I don't really want to have to put it back. I can, but I don't want to have to. Are we enjoying this? I am. I love it. I know it takes a little bit longer than it always takes, as long as it takes. I'm not gonna stress over this. Let's get it right, right? I don't think Facebook shuts off after an hour, do they? No, I don't think so. Right, there you go. They don't in the Shack anyway, do they? No, they don't. So now I've got that going. I think, I think what I do want to do is add a little bit more green down the bottom now. I think my meadow's looking a little bit dry and dull. Let's just get a bit of green going in here. See how it builds up? Nice, eh? Okay, let's have a look now. So move this out of the way, and let's get the first step done. So what we're going to do is lift this bit off. Let's get this bit going first. Right, so we've got that bit. Just hang on to that. Okay, we'll decide what to do with that in a minute. Next thing, lifting of mask. Carefully take your mask. Right, you ready? The big reveal. We need these bits in a minute. We're going to take this off. Look at that. Right, and then in comes, look, all the shadow and all the shade. Isn't that beautiful? Look. Isn't that pretty? I mean, how much do you need? You know? So we'll take that and we'll pop that back on its home base. Let's put it back on its carrier sheet. So you lift it until it's in about the right place, and then just drop it down. Sorted. That'll do. Good enough. You see, because you put it in your folder, it'll keep it for a long time. Now we'll take this one and we'll put that back at the same time. Let's just pop that back. Good housekeeping, good housekeeping. There you go. That'll do. Right, now we've done that, but I might use that again. So let me just, don't put it back in the folder just yet. Now I need the reflection. Let's get the reflection out. So we go back in our folder, find the other one. That's that one we just used. This is the reflection one. Right, get your reflection one out again. Let's use the one I've already used. I've shown you how to use the new one. So this is going to be the water, if you like, the bottom, downstairs, okay? So we'll turn it round. It's a lot easier to do it. Actually, look, sorry. What we need to do is cover up this bit, because this is going to be the water. So where to find I'm telling you, it's this bit here. This is going to be the reflection of this, funny enough, it's on the reflection, but it's this bit here. And I'll explain to you how I found that. If I put that up there, if we go to the reflection piece, this is this bit, isn't it? Like, let's get logical here. And that now, if you like, is going to be the reflection. So it's going to be that bit there, you see? It sits there. Right, but that's not what I want to cover up. I want to cover this bit up. So instead of using that bit, all right, put that back where it belongs, on the reflection. It's dead easy. You just got to think it through. T-I-T, think it through. Right, so we do that. We'll take that one, and then we're going to pop this over the top of this, like that. Right, so that goes on there like that. Right. Now we can put the reflection in. So we're going to take the same thing again, this bit of the opposite one. Right. It's a thinking game, this is. It's definitely thinking person's art. So we'll turn this round, and now we're going to put this in the water. Now it's up to you how far do you want to, see? So you just got to make sure that it's opposite. Don't worry about the middle one, it's just caught a little bit. So how far do I want the water to go? Maybe not that much. So that's the reflection, right? So now we'll just let that drop in and that will go perfect. Now, so this is the water now. You cool with that? That's it. And that's the water's edge there. And this is the reflection, just to get your bearings. And now we're going to do the same thing again. We won't go as dark on the bottom half. See? But we definitely want to, now we know where it is, now we can cover up. See, we definitely want to cover up the top because we don't want to spoil that bit. So we'll keep that clean. So it's like a little surgery really. You cover up all the bits except the bits that you want to apply colour to. It's very, very simple. Yeah. Now we've got that. Now let's go in again, but this time let's use the blue in the reflection. So again, we're just gonna, we know that it's in the right place, but we'll put the blue down as a base instead of the green. It will just change it a bit. Now, do you remember the shade was on this side, wasn't it? See, you can see it. The shadow's on this side. So again, we're going to put the shadow on the same side on the trees in the reflection, but we'll use the blue, right? And then same rule about coming down. See, I just love the idea of the reflections. Paul, could you just let me know if everything is okay and if everybody is happy? Right, here we go. There we are. And now I'm going to use a bit of green, tone it down a bit. Right. Don't want it too, so the reflection this is, so you don't want it too bright because it's in the water. The brightness is above the water, isn't it? So just get that going. Right, now, okay. See, if you want to have a little peep, you can always have a little look because it will go back down exactly. See, lovely. Okay, it will go back down exactly where you want it. So take your makeup sponge again. Just clean the edges. Okay. That's it. Just give it a good wipe. It cleans the mask as well when you're doing this, see? Okay. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now, once we've done this, I reckon this is going to be good enough. I don't want to overcook it. The only thing I would say, right, if you're going to treat yourself to an ink pad, shadow grey, and I'll tell you why, because I know you think, well, you could do black and then just don't press as hard. But I mean, I've been doing this for years, you know. But I found when I was trying to do the reflections in grey using a black ink pad, it wasn't that easy. I had to get rid of loads and loads of black. Right? Whereas if I go with a grey ink pad, the clue's in the name, shadow grey, right? But going with a grey ink pad, it's a lot easier, it's a lot more forgiving, it's a lot lighter as well. If I show you like this colour, right? See, it's a real light grey. And then for black, black's black, you know that. So I just wanted to say, if you want to do this, treat yourself to shadow grey. It's a beautiful archival ink pad. Now I've said that, I'm pretty sure we've got them in the cupboard. I'm pretty sure we have. Right, let's just add a little bit of grey. It tones it down a bit. You watch. It's really nice. See? And just remember, you can always add it, but you can't take it away. There, it's going to be lovely. You'll see the colour. Now, the other thing that I want to mention as well, right, let's have a look. I want to have because let's go back to the top, the water's edge. This is the water's edge here. So the water's edge is usually dark, isn't it? Right, so I'm taking that grey or black, if you've only got black. Yeah, I know I said we were only going to use black, but the thing was, it wasn't until I started using it, I thought, cool, it'd be a lot easier if this was grey. Now check the cupboard and yeah, defo, right? So I'm just being careful when I sweep this through, right, that I'm not catching those flowers. Don't want to spoil them. Right, let's have a look. Hey, wait, behave. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look what we've got. So we're going to take this away. We've definitely got that. And then we're going to have a look when we take the mask away, this is the water now. Ah, this is a beautiful colour in the water. Let's have a look. Take that away, we need that in a minute. That's lovely, isn't it? So we've got two different pictures going on here. Isn't that pretty? Hey? So turn it up that way. Now we've got our reflection. Isn't that nice? So you've got the water, and then you've got above the water. Yeah? I know, it's lovely, isn't it? Right, let's take that for a minute. Let's replace that. I think this is the thing about the masks, you know. I mean, I think they're really, pound for pound, hour for hour, you know, what you can do with these, they're worth their weight in gold, really, you know. I think we've got a good price on these as well, haven't we, Paul? Right, so again, I'd rather take my time and put it all back so that I can find it again in a minute, right? So now I've done that. Okay, very happy with that. Now let's compare that one with the one that I've already done. Look, see? So you can see it's not different, you know, just a little bit, the images are different. What I love though is if I were to just do that part, I don't need the reflection, but it's lovely to do it, isn't it? See? Now the next thing we're going to do is add the deer. Let's add the deer. That's key. I would add the deer before I added the mountains in the background. See, because there's a sequence. It's all about opacity. If I put the mountains in, then the deer have got to be really dark to go in front. Whereas if I put the deer in and then mask them off, you see, that's when the game's, that's the trick, isn't it? Do you like? I love this. I really love this. So let's have a look. The next thing we want to do is put the deer in. So let's do that, shall we? Because that I can show you then by putting the deer in. What that does is it shows you how to use these clever stamps. So we've got the reflection mask and we've got the extra. So let's take these out. I'll show you a trick. It can't be 1:45 already. You don't mind, do you? Come on, keep going, keep going. Right, so I need both. I need the upstairs and the downstairs on this job. Right, now these are just the things that I kind of figured out as I was going along. What's really cool, obviously I'm going to use this, not that bit, hang on, put that back. I'm going to use this bit to put my deer in place. I could put it down on like there, see? It could come down, couldn't it, a little bit further, like that. See? I could put it down like that. Or I could put it up on the, it's wherever it wants to be, right? But what's cool is that I can use these ones to decide where I want to sit them. Do you see what I mean? So for example, I could put the deer there, like that. That'd be nice. And that just tells me where it's going to sit. And the other thing that you've got to understand is, even though this is the reflection, if I wanted the deer pointing in the other direction, I can always use the downstairs one upstairs. Look, got a family of 4 going on here. Do you understand? You could. It's up to you whether you use the reflection downstairs or upstairs. If you've got a piece of artwork and you think, well, actually, it'd look a lot better if they were there and not there, then just you decide which one you want to go with. You see what I mean? Oh, I'm going to go with that one there, I think. Just keep it simple. And then that one is going to be the reflection one. But you've got to know that you could use either. So if that's going to sit there, see, and what I'm doing is I'm using these ones to check out what I'm doing before I start. So now that one's got to be sitting right on that edge like that. The reflection's going to be right down there like that, see? Isn't it? See? Like that, because it's above the, yeah, a bit further up maybe. Well, if that's the case, I could bring this one a bit further down. There you go. So that looks pretty cool, and it fills up. There's another trick to that area as well. So now what I'm going to do, you see, is take this one, and that's going to sit there, because this is what that's just for positioning, right? So I'll put that one there, stick that, hello. Tweezers are good for this as well. Hang on. Tweezers. There you go. Come on, don't lose your head. Right, that's it. I think the thing about this particular art process, that's what I'm going to call it, is that it's very, it requires a lot of focus. You've got to think about what you're doing. I like that. Now, if I go in here with an ink pad, the chances are I might catch this. So let me show you a trick. We're going to make a little mask for the outside. If I take a pencil, right, I can make loads of little holes for the different. I just need a hole. So we'll go like that. So I know it's going to be smaller than the grey bit. And if I just do that, that would probably be about that. I can always open it up a bit more if I need to. So what I'm going to do is make a hole, right? And then that will protect. It's all about protecting the area, isn't it? Right? So do that. Get rid of that. See, for me, personally, look, perfect. This is like a comfortable pair of shoes. I am in my element when I'm doing this artwork. This is what I love to do, right? And now you'll see, because it's grey, see, I can go dark until I cover up the, look, see? I could make it black as well if I wanted, but I think grey's quite good. Let's have a look. So I'm pounding through there, like that. Like I say, if I want it to be black, I can take black as well, but I reckon that grey is probably going to be fine. Black might be a bit severe. What do I think? Let me show you a bit black. Maybe we'll make the feet black. Let's have a look. I've got a black archival on the go down here as well. Make his... Oh, now I've really gone in black. Okay. Silhouette. See, this is what we're going to do. When we go in on the designer paper, we're definitely going to use black. So let's have a look. We'll get a bit of a shadow going there. You see, so that protects that. Got it? How are you keeping up with me, or am I just in a little world of my own here? Have you just thrown everything at the TV? Sorry. Right, put the grey lid on. Right, keep going. Come on. Then we'll take that off. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah. Wunderbar. Carefully, carefully. Isn't that pretty? There. So then that sits on there like so. Okay. And then this one, you like? So we'll turn this around, and then we're going to put the other aperture down where that one is, see? It's all very logical. So we'll lift that off. That was just so that we know where we want to put it. That's our little guide, isn't it? A little orientation. Right, we'll pop that one there. Let's see, have a look. Like that. Oh, I love this work. Right. Okay. And then we're going to use our mask again. Our little surgery, a little hole. Right, grey first. All good. Is anybody still here, or am I on my own? Well, I'm enjoying it anyway. I love doing this work. Let's have a look. See? So we've got the grey layer down, so you can really go dark, but it still stays grey. And then I'm going to flick that little filthy makeup sponge over. And then I'll go again. Right, bit black this is. This is supposed to be the reflection. So don't go so dark grey. Remember? See, I wasn't thinking, was I? That's all right though. I caught it, Paul. Let me just get rid of the excess. Blot it a bit. I think there might be a little bit dark for a reflection, but you'll see after all that wittering on about, yeah, it's got to be lighter than that anyway, hasn't it? Yeah, good enough. Yes, grey. You just were about to go in with black, weren't you? You silly girl. Right, there you go. Look, doesn't that look lovely? Woo, woo, woo. Right, so we put that back. Nice. You nearly screwed that up, didn't you, Barbara? Yeah, I know. I wasn't thinking. Had my mind on other things. Okay, so now we've done that. Time for a sip. Come on. Got to stay hydrated. Keep moving. On the spot. Looks really nice. I love this. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Right, so we're learning, aren't we? We're learning how to do, you make the little ones, we're learning how to get the shadow, how to get that. Now, what we could do is put a mountain in the background. Do you want to try that? We've got time. Yeah, come on. Thing is, there's so many places you could stop at. You could stop right now, couldn't you? Like we'll only do the one deer. Let's put that down there. Now, if we want to put mountains in the background, then now what we need is these trees to cover this up to put the mountains in, right? Because if we're going to put the mountains in, we've got to cover up the foreground and then load the hills. Got it? Let's do that, shall we? So I'm going to take the riverside bank. I'm going to use this bit, to cover up what we've already done. Gently does it. I know it's a fiddle. It'd be more of a fiddle if you had to cut this out. Well, you wouldn't, would you? You would not do that. There we are. Just pull it out. It's only because I didn't position it properly. Right, here we go. So I've got my 3 trees here. Now, these are a little bit sticky. So what we're going to do is detack them so they're easier to position. Right? Just put it on your shirt or on your wherever. Okay? Right, here we go. And then we'll bring it down slowly, don't press. Right, and then as you lower it down, here we go. Just keep your eye on a couple of the trees. There, that'll do. So that's nearly there, isn't it? What do I think? That one's quite good. That one needs a little bit of a nudge. That one's about right. That'll do, you know. There you go. That's in place. Probably should have masked the deer off as well, but that's okay. There's no rule about which mask goes first, but we'll do that as well. Let's just stick that mask down. Might as well. We've got it. Let's use what we've got. That's what I say. Right, so we've done that. Okay. And then we're going to do the same in the so you don't have to, but you can, right? Let's just do the top half first, because even if we just do the top half, maybe we won't have time to do the bottom half, but you'll get it, won't you? You just got to do the same again, but with the reflection. So now, which hills? This is the question. Let's go to the hills. Hills. The hills are alive with the sound of music. These are good. Right, Riverside Mountain and reflection. Okay. Check it out. The thing is, clearly, what I would normally do, but we could be here till 5 o'clock if I do, you'd cover this up as well, same as we've done that, before you go in with the hills. The reason that I've done this is because I want to show you, you see, this is where you have to decide, do you want the hills coming this way, or do you want the hills going that way? It's entirely up to you, because you've got both choices. You could do that one, or you could do that one. It doesn't matter which one you do upstairs or downstairs, just provided that they're the same. If you get what I'm saying, they're just in reverse. So I think I'm going to make the hills come in behind like that. So I'm actually using the reflection upstairs, if you get what I mean. And so if I make the reflection upstairs, let me just decide how high I want these hills to go. I reckon that'll do. About there. Right? And so you understand, without my putting too fine a point on it, you can do the same thing at the bottom. Cover up, cover up, cover up, use the opposite. I just wanted to explain that you can use the reflection upstairs, not just downstairs. So now we've done that, then we need our little bits of copy paper again, you know, just to cover up these bits. So just get in there so that we don't spoil the sky, like that. So we'll do that, and now we're going to put the hills in. But I'm going to cover up the bottom part as well, because that would be a shame if I screwed that up. So what you can do, of course, you could use you could go in there, or just take a bit of masking tape. Look, this is good gear as well, isn't it? Masking, clues in the name. So we'll do that, and then we'll just pop that there. Let me just think what I'm doing here for a minute. That's right, isn't it? That's it. Good, good, good. So now we're going to do the hills. Now the hills, we're going to keep them soft. So make sure you're upstairs, right? But we're going to make them grey, okay? Just because they're in the background, they're a long way away. So we're going to go with the grey. So if you've got black, you're going to have to get rid of quite a bit of black before you start. I'm going in with grey because I love it anyway. And I'm going to use, right, so now grey. And it's a real slow build up, this one. Have a look. See? Barely see it. When I was doing this earlier, don't forget your flowers. You don't want to be, even if you think it's not the ink that's going to spoil the flowers, it's going to be the brush, right? So let's keep going. Go, go, go. So I think, you see, this is plenty for a session, isn't it? For a craft along. And then when we get together next Wednesday at 7 o'clock, you up for it? We can try the ducks. We could just ramp it up a little bit and do some more tricks and tips, you know. And I think maybe 7 o'clock in the evening is a really good time to do that sort of thing. I'm getting bored with what's on the telly. It's really painful at the moment. Dave says, what would you like to watch? It's like, period drama. Oh, he goes, really? I can't handle anything violent or aggressive. It's got to be a period drama. But we've watched them all, Barbara. Well, let's see what else there is then. Right, so we've got that, and then we're going to take our grey. We need a grey makeup sponge. Is that a grey one? Have a look. Grey. Grey's cool. Right. And now we're going to sharpen those edges upstairs, like that. Right? So you can, it's just going to be darker. Nice. I think this would be good. Right. Let's get a bit of depth around the bottom there as well. See where I can't smear, I can pound. Yeah? Cool. Now, next thing, this is a good bit. This is like the good old days. Take a piece of copy paper and just tear it. Just tear it like that. That's what we want. And what we're going to do is make like mountain ranges. We're going to create some interest in these hills, like we do in the castle. Right, so we'll start over here, and then we're going to, right, so this mountain now, if you like, I'm going to extend it. I'm going to bring it down. So when I do this, I'm going to start up here, if you like, and then I'm going to smear. So I start up here, and then I smear, but I'm not going to lift it away. So I want to see that it's working first, right? See if it's working. There, see? So now what I'm doing is I'm creating this grey's got to be done. If you haven't got this grey, treat yourself. It really is quite something, this ink pad. See how you get the feeling that this is in front of that one. So let's put now this one. See this tall mountain here? Let's just have a look at it. Get your tear going where you think it would look logical. Like that's probably about right, isn't it? About there. Did I cover up that? Yeah, I did. come down like that, I reckon. Like that. Right, ready? And then, God, Barbara, this isn't that hard. Right, okay. And then bring the smear in and pound it like that. Right, and that's the side of the mountain now. Look, see? I know. Wunderbar. Right, and then on the other side, this one's coming down. But this time, make the artwork come to you, right? This time, see, that's going to come down like that. See, it's much better to do this. That'll do. This is much better to do it with a bit of ink than with a pen or a pencil. So you go in there and then you smear it like that into the general direction. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I missed it a little bit on that corner, but I can get back in there. I might have to tart that up a bit. That'll work. Right, so that one comes down like that. That one goes like that. That one, and then I think we may just have a lovely mountain range in the background. Let's check it out. What do you think? I don't think we want any colour on there, do we? Do you think we need a bit of green? Do you? Well, let's just give it a little whisper of green then, if you feel that that's necessary. Oh, not that way though, grey. Come on. That might be quite nice. Right, let's have a look. Lid on. Take this away. I think one of the best things of this is the reveal, you know. Right, it's going to take a little bit longer. I know we've overrun the hour. Oh no. Let's have a look. You can always have a little peep. Oh yeah, this is going to look super. There you go. That's a mountain. Isn't that lovely? Right, see. So now where you've got to get good housekeeping though, good housekeeping. Make sure that you replace your mask. You don't want to have to be buying these every week. Right, there you go. Mask in the folder. Nice. Now where's this one? Right, next one. Now, before I take the heels away, nearly, before I take the heels away, last trick, easy, moon or sun, yeah? While the trees are masked, it's easier to put a moon or something in the background. So let's have another little look and we'll go into our set. We haven't got any in the new one. Oh no, I have to go to the next one. These are the best, right? Because there's 6 in a pack. Let's take that one. That'll do. Right, because you always go through them, honest to God. If I had these ones here, this is the same size as that one, right? I don't know how many of these masks I've got, and that one's missing. It's like really unsavoury. So we said, look, I'll show you. I bet I've got one. Look, see? Yep, it's the way it is, folks. Right, so then this one, see, now you've got to decide, where do you want to put your moon? Do you want it there? Do you want it there? I'm going to put it here. Keep it simple, right? But I can put it behind the tree, provided that the tree is still masked off. And you got to know that all of this down here, I'm going to do exactly the same thing in reverse. And when I'm doing these bits, right, it really is easiest at this angle, coming down, rather than trying to do it like that. It's easier to put the paper, just so that because we're not going to do it together, it'd take too long. You do it like that, see, and then you put the hills in. This is by far the easiest way to work your way down vertically, okay? But for the sky, piece of cake, all we need is just a bit of scrap, just to try the blue. So we don't want much, so it's already there. I'm not even going to ink it up. Let me show you. We're just going to use the moon as a kind of a launch pad, right? Not too much. And you're going to sweep that way, and you're going to sweep that way through the trees, that way and that way. And if you want to get more specific, you see, you squish the brush like that in your hand, and then you can get you can get a real, like almost like a dart of colour coming out, you see, because you're squishing the brush together like that. And then when you go like that, you could use a smaller brush as well, that works, right? But the idea is that you, rather than all the way around, the colour is more concentrated on the sides, yeah? And then a little bit of like that. Just get a little bit of an echo. Sorted. That'll do. And when we lift this off, let's lift it off, because you might want to add a bit more, or you might say, that's plenty. There you go. Isn't that nice? I know they're our products, and I know that I'm going on about them, but I can't tell you how much pleasure I get out of this. Is just such a great kind of, for me, it's like putting on a really, really comfortable pair of shoes, and you build these landscapes, and it's really quite achievable. It isn't that hard. Now, which mask came first? It doesn't matter. Let's have a look. Oh, right, okay. That's all right. Right, gently peel. They're quite robust, but let's have a look. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, go. There. Wow, I love it. Oh. Right, let's just get the mask back in place. I've got the two deer hanging out here as well now. Let's just get the mask in. See? In it goes. Back on track, that'll do. I need to put my mask of the deer back in the right place. Oh, because I know in a minute, if I don't, then where did I put them up? Oh yeah, here they are. It's all right. See, at the end of the art session, all the masks go back in the folder. So you can see, this is so cool. A couple of little finishing tricks. This is a bit bland, this bit, isn't it? So get your grey again. Get your grey or your green, whatever you've got handy. Right, maybe a bit of grey green. That'd be nice. And then we get your torn paper. Let's have a look. Let's do a bit. Try it with a bit of grey. Just remember now, though, that this is the artwork. This isn't a piece of scrap, because we've been masking off so much. Right. So what we can do now. Here we go. Just a bit of grey. See if that looks right. That's nice. See that grey? It's lovely. Let's give that. That looks good. Right. So what we could do then, in the meadow, we could add a couple of hillocks, you know, can't we? So here we go. You could add hillocks, you could add birds. We've got the bird masks. You could add ducks. You can add, you know, you can go to your heart's content now, filling. But I just wanted to show you how to use the mask. See, I'm comfortable with this stuff. This stuff I could do till the cows come. I love it. There we are. This is the sort of stuff we do at the NEC, isn't it? It's great. But I think in the comfort of your own home, crafting along. See, so you get those lovely little hillocks and divots and what have you. You could put them in the trees. It's entirely up to you. I think when you start to play with them, you'll realise just how cool this actually all is. And then when you've put the base in, here's one that I did earlier to show you. Right, so this is exactly what we've done. The only difference is that I actually put the mask, I put the moon in the bottom as well, you see? But it's pretty much on par, yeah? So there you go. And that was the one that we did on the blog, bit by bit. But it's a lovely thing, isn't it? This one's slightly blacker. I've got a bit more colour going in. You know how I did that. All I did was go a bit longer with a black ink pad while the outer mask was in place. You see? So I hope that you enjoyed that. We've gone 10 minutes over the hour, but I think it was well worth. I'll post this. I could always put this on my blog, barbaragrayblog.com, and so that way I think I even took some photographs when I did it the first time round. And so if I can step it up for you, I might do it tonight. I might do it tomorrow. Do check back. I hope that you enjoyed that. like I say, I think it would be really cool if we got together on Wednesday at 7 o'clock, because I'd really love to, because it's quite doable. Now let's have a look at this one, right? This is the one that Dee did. This is the one that I did. Look, it's just a little bit less complex, although I love Dee's composition, right? But what we're going to do is just, we'll take the children, we'll take the bank. Now the bank comes from the deer. The children, they sit on top of that bank. See, this is the fantastic perspective where they're closer and they're further away, and then the trees are even further away, and the castle's in the distance. And so it's very, very, very attractive. And I thought that perhaps this would take a good hour at 7 o'clock on Wednesday evening, but I'd love to show you how to do the ducks, how to get the perspective, how to see into. So what we're going to do is use the masks on designer paper, and then that way we'll see how, you know, often you look into the designer paper and you see pictures, and what we're going to do on Wednesday evening is just gaze at some designer paper and find the coastline and find the river line, and yeah, see if we can see some things in those papers and then draw them out. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Paul, thank you very much for your help. I've really enjoyed this. I love these masks. Do get them if you haven't got them. And while you're there, don't forget to get your stencils, get your designer paper, get your designer paper as well. Get your stencil card, very important. What else can I sell you? Oh, the backdrop stamps. You've got to get the backdrop stamps. They're a must-have. And as soon as those spot-on sponges land, you'll be the first to know. Lots of love. Have a great weekend, and thank you for joining me. Bye-bye now.